Welcome to the Theatre of Dreams here at Darcy Street. It's Lakoseljac Cup quarter-final weekend. The action continuing today with 3 more quarter-finals coming to you. Yesterday, Launceston City advancing through to the Final Four with a victory over Hobart United, but a huge clash here at Darcy Street today between 2 of the heavyweights. The team that has represented Tasmania the most in the FFA Cup, which is of course the big carrot. They're all chasing this competition in South Hobart, up against the current NPL Tasmania ladder leaders, the Hobart Zebras. This should be an absolute belter. The sun is shining. There is barely a cloud in the sky. Paul Hunt, what a wonderful day to be at the football.
This is by far the nicest day in Darcy Street football history, I would believe, here, compared to the swirling rain we had in the Women's Super League game here a couple of weeks ago that we were witnessed that here. But yeah, expecting an absolute ripper of a game here today. The perennial successful team down here, South Hobart, won I think 5 Lakoseljac Cups in the last few years and pretty much running away with the title as well most of the last 10 years. A couple of blimps there in the NPL days, but they are pretty dominant here. And look, I'm expecting a wonderful contest here. The pitch out here is not looking like it's been impacted by the dogs, which we had a couple of months ago here. It's looking pretty carpet-like, but down the middle there, yeah, there is a no golfing sign out the front as well, so I don't know what they're doing bringing the pitching wedge out here. It's, now that I see it, it's right obscured by my vision of the of our replay screen here. There's a couple of shockers down by the grandstand side.
That problem fixed in the future. It is disappointing on such an occasion like this. We don't have that carpet. However, we have what we have, and that is a very entertaining game in store for us.
Absolutely, and I don't feel like I'm in the position to be criticising the council in any way, shape or form.
Keep it coming, Fundy. Keep it coming.
I'd like to keep my job, so or day job, I should say. This is the real job in my world. Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
Onto the teams, perhaps.
Onto the teams, perhaps. I think it's a good sign, but yeah, Hobart Zebras going into this game full of confidence here today after their pretty good win on Anzac Day that we were there for during the week. So I'll let you run through South Hobart's team calling.
So the South Hobart side who are coming off a 0 draw in a recent game with Launceston City up north. That was an interesting result, couldn't quite find a way through. A little bit down to start the season. South not quite the force they have been in previous seasons, but there's still plenty of quality in that starting lineup, and their Darcy Street Fortress, they're going to be tough to beat. So starting out the top there, young Kieran Brown gets the nod in goals today. Connor Schmidt and Adam Gorry, the 2 fullbacks. That's a real strength of this South Hobart team. Oscar Thomas back in, so that's a big boost to them. He's been injured and they weren't sure if he was going to pull up for this one, but that's massive to have the giraffe, Oscar Thomas, in the lineup. In the middle of the fence, you'd imagine, partnering with Daniel Brown. Nick Morton, well, I think a lot falls on the Morton Morton today. You've got no Jack Turner, you've got no Kobe Kemp. They are huge omissions from that midfield, so the man who needs to step up and really drive this team forward is Nick Morton. Hasn't quite had the impact he had last season so far in 2018. Last year really lit up the league and helped that South Hobart dominance as they stormed away to the title. He needs to get back to that type of form today if they are going to win. Luke Farrell, I'd imagine, probably takes one of the midfield slots occupied by by Turner rather, or Kemp. Ryan Cook, another one who could slot in there, very versatile player to use all around a number of roles. We've seen him on the wing previously, so I'm not sure where we'll see big Ryan Cook today. Alex Walter, another one of the keys, one of their star players. He needs to light this game up today if they're going to win it, I reckon. And there's every chance he does. He's a very, very dangerous player, Alex Walter. Isaac DeGhetto getting a rare start today. Can he take the opportunity? I expect he might lead the lines or perhaps drift out wide. Depends where that man, Renato Davici Marins, the Brazilian striker, if he plays as a striker or whether they get him back into midfield, which is probably a possibility given Kemp and Turner around. On the bench, Bowman, Saraceno, Brennan, Thomas and Moncourt. Some really good young talent on there. And of course the big monkey, the backup keeper. So a strong South Hobart lineup, but a sluggish start to you from them, Paul.
Certainly a sluggish start, still languishing not in the top 4 of the NPL 10s, down in 6th at the moment after the first 5 rounds. So certainly a position they'll want to improve on, but yeah, they're really having some trouble just keeping the same 11, especially in the midfield area. They're changing the wingers up. We've seen Saraceno, Brennan, DeGhetto all play out there, and then the really big out of Kobe Kemp, both for their player and for my tip for Mitzi Medal. I think that one's down the toilet for the season, unfortunately. Kobe Kemp sustaining an unfortunate, serious injury to keep him out for a few weeks. Was pretty impressed with Vikia Marins last week there. He's a pretty lively customer up top, willing runner. Just be interesting to see if Ken Morton wants to use him more running in from an inside forward position out on the wing, or whether he sticks with him up top. We have seen Isaac DeGhetto play there the first couple of rounds of the season. As we look at South Hobart, just waiting for the Zebras' appearance. Captain Dogger Brown going through all the players with some encouraging words, and good to see young Kieran Brown back in the starting lineup. He was the mainstay last year, and I thought it was pretty stiff not to start this season, so good to see him back, and we'll probably flick over to the Zebras lineup, and there we are, right on cue. Once again, we've got number 2, James Ackerley, captain Jaden Hay, who's currently leading the team out as we speak. Ben Robinson, young Tarutza, pretty solid backline there. They had a pretty good game between them outside of about 15 minutes on Anzac Day. Number 9, Dwayne Walsh. Yuki Hoogslute getting a start after his substitute appearance midweek. Again, another one of the substitutes from the week. Adam Sunday McEwen getting a run out. Number 15, Jakobs Glenage, scoring one of the goals of the season, contenders already with that chip over the business we saw on Anzac Day. It was a thing of absolute beauty. Another good goal. The Colonel, Matthew Sanders, they'll continue their roles up front. Number 20, Skander Van Dorn, not Dorm. Makes it sound like we left him in the bedroom there. Iski Van Dorn, my apologies. And number 21, the keeper, Sheku Kamara. On the bench, Jake French, Geordie Muller. Surprise demotion there to the bench. I wonder if you got any inside word on that move there, Cooling. And then Jordan Mundy Wolf and Deems Bloomfield on the bench.
Well, I can only imagine that Jordan Muller is injured if he's on the bench, because I've heard people waxing lyrical about players before, but Gabriel Marcage, when he speaks about Jordan Muller, the love hearts appear in his eyes, Paul. So there is no doubt that Geordie's not 100% if he's on the bench today, and that's a massive blow, because he has had a fantastic season. And if you look at the number of attackers this Zebras team are able to throw out there, they keep them high, they're always looking to peg the opposition back, but so much of that is only possible because of the hard grunt work being done back in the midfield by Jordan Muller. He is fully kitted up on the sideline, and he's out there, so...
Did see him in the warm-up as well before I looked at the team sheet, so I assumed he was starting, so yeah, it wasn't too many fitness concerns from what I saw.
There must be something, so that's obviously a huge blow. So both teams a little undermanned in the midfield today. And the big question perhaps is going to be who can step up and fill that void, but still plenty of match winners out there. It's a wonderful day for football. Quarterfinals, 2 huge teams going head-to-head. What's your gut feel on this one?
My tip yesterday, I was conversing over Twitter with a few people, thinking the result. I did tip Zebras, and I think I'm still going to stick with it. While South Hobart have got the home ground advantage, they've been in this position before. They'll be wanting revenge after the round 1 match, but I just feel like the Zebras have been running over teams in the second half, and there was some concerns last year with Marcage's first stint in the NPL about fitness in the last 20 minutes. That hasn't been too much of a concern this year. They've been pretty dominant in the second half, so I'm going to go with the Zebras. Narrow win, I think, for me, as we had a look at the referees there. Tony Pert out in the middle there, so the big guns for today's Lakoseljac Cup match.
Yeah, just inserting himself for the big occasion there, Tony. Just when you've got the power to do it, why not?
Yeah, I mean, when you're the boss, you can put it for you whenever you want.
Absolutely, and this is the game you want to be involved in. This should be an absolute humdinger. Looking forward to this one. We're just about ready now. It's Hobart Zebras and South Hobart at Darcy Street. Lakoseljac Cup quarterfinals, 3 games away from the FFA Cup potentially. And we're underway here with Jaden Hay lining up in the middle of defence today. So a really different looking Zebras lineup, it would seem. Jaden lining up in there. This is Zebras on the attack early. Iski Van Dorn trying to sneak in behind, but repelling away the long legs of the giraffe Oscar Thomas. So perhaps a bit of a back 3 being deployed by Marcage at the moment as the long throw comes in. Hoogslute wins the header, and then commandingly away from Dogger Brown. Ackley contesting. Plenty of bodies there in the middle. It spills South Hobart's way, and Cook will just smash it up the line for Davici Marins, who evidently will be leading the line again today, the Brazilian. Long onto the head of Sklenage, just carried him onto Oscar Thomas. Now it's big Ben Robinson lumbering forwards here. Can they put a cross in? It's Iski Van Dorn with a teasing ball, and Douglas Brown comes across and smashes it away.
Good consistent start here from Hobart Zebras, and I think I'm going to have to get something on Gabby Marquez as he rifles one down the sideline there. He's certainly making a lot of noise down there on the sideline. Good positive start for his Zebras team, having the first corner of the match. Bit of confusion over who will take it, and yeah, very interesting move with Jaden Hay at the back. His versatility's often been both a strength and a weakness for him, unable to hold down a solid position throughout most of his career. We thought right wing would be it, but centre back today as the ball comes in towards the back post, and Kieran Brown knocks that one over the top for a corner. Safety first option there as it was creeping into the back post. And good to see the Munster Mark Moncur warming up already down there on the far sideline. That's what we like to see from our reserve goalkeepers.
Substitute slash ball boy, apparently the big monkey there.
It's certainly a difference in ball boy age compared to the ones we had on Anzac Day.
Zebras going with a slightly more youthful setup as the corner swung in by the Colonel to the back post. Huge salute the target. Brown rather flailing at it, but it'll be South Hobart's ball, so no threat there. But Luke Hughes salute, they've had 2 chances to knock balls long and into the box, and both times have gone straight onto the head of Hughes salute. I think we're going to get used to this throughout the afternoon. A big battering ram, and good to see him back out there after a few concussion issues.
Yeah, he's probably got the height over the keeper as well, so it's just going to be whether or not how Kieran Brown and Dogger Brown manage to control those two, as we have Dogger on the ball for the first time. Well charged down from Splanage, and will fall back into the arms of the keeper, whose top is very much blending in with the pitch here today at Darcy Street in the sun. The good thing he's got red shoes on, else I wouldn't see him.
Yeah, interesting. Most goalies go the fluoro kit to attract the striker's eye. Kieran going with a different approach, trying to camouflage him with the grass here so he can maybe sneak out at them and just patrol the box a little more effectively. So
going full chameleon like.
There's actually a few colourblind players on the pitch, so he's playing a cunning strategy there.
Might be something to that. Kieran Brown as Luke Farrell picks it up. That's a lovely ball out towards Ryan Cook in his first start of the season. Slid it through to the Mordhog. Tries to link up with Da Vinci Marines. He'll pounce on the Marines. Kamara with the save. The first chance of the game falls the way of the Brazilian, and Kamara denies him.
Probably wasn't expecting that to fall to him, Da Vinci Marines, after the slide tackle from Hay. Managed to get there, and on the non-preferred just scuffed it slightly with the heel right to the feet of Kamara. So a good opportunity there.
Yeah, look,
South Hobart.
It certainly wasn't Da Vinci's finest work. I've certainly seen some better creations from the great man, but I'm sure he'll paint us up a masterpiece before the end of the day.
Yeah, that's one thing we can look forward to, as Ackley plays it with Robinson. Now Hugh Sloot. Oh, falls into the centre here. Alex Walters got most of Darcy Street there. He can lines it up from 30 yards. Good power, but Sheku Kamara had that one well covered. It's good trajectory, but it's going to take a lot to beat Kamara from that sort of range, especially with those options he had in front. He could have possibly played a wall pass with one of those strikers there, get a bit closer.
I didn't mind it. The defence was just backing off. There was plenty of room there, and Alex Walter, Alex got a bit of a licence in this team. He's done it before with those rockets from range. As Zebras with the direct approach this time. Dan Brown steering it away before Sunday McEwen can pounce. Da Vinci Marines flicking, but Jaden Hay was there defending it nicely. Isaac Togetto, well won back by Hugh Sloot, who's going to be important in midfield today with no Jordan Muller. Big Ben Robinson closed down quickly by Cook, who's eager to make an impression in his first start here.
Well, there are a couple of big outs in midfield today for both clubs, as I'm sure you boys flagged in pre-game before I arrived, from the traditional vibe gauging duties around the ground, as we see a clear free kick here played the way of South Hobart. But yeah, huge outs with Geordie Muller absent today, and Kobe Kemp, who I just heard say to somebody that he's done an ACL, and I'm not sure if he's joking just there, but I really hope he is, because that would be a certain tragedy.
Done for the season is the word on Kobe Kemp, as this one's launched towards Da Vinci Marines. Togetto tried to volley it, but tracking back was Big Harutza. And then Dawn robbed by the Frenchman, and it might spill here for the Mordhog. Turns on the left, a back across the face. Just easily gathered in the end by Kamara though. But yeah, huge blow. Kobe Kemp definitely out in the foreseeable future. They think that there was some chance he could get back later in the year, but it sure sounded like season done for Kobe Kemp.
And he's a classy operator. He's certainly been one of my favourite players in the time watching the NPL Taz, as he patrolled either the right-hand wing or in the centre of the park. He's certainly got all the qualities he needs to succeed, and we wish him a speedy recovery. So we just see Walter tangle there with his opposite number.
Yeah, good work there from the big chorizo down the back, finding Robinson. Whiskey Van Dorn getting pretty well manhandled there. Now the Morthog playing a nice 1-2. Putting Chorizo on his back side. Now Morton, now the 1-2 again. Shot, calls for handball, not given from Tony Peck. Calls for a penalty again. This time he gives it. Sheku Kamara with the flailing leg on the South Hobart striker. And at the second time of asking, referee,
I think that's
calls it.
Really good refereeing, I have to say here, boys, because I did not think that the defender has a chance to get this one out of the way. Right next to his side, very natural position. But Sheku Kamara has gone in a little bit hard with the boot there, and a clear foul, I would think.
I think he's just second to the ball, and look, South Hobart have been fantastic out of the blocks here. They've put the Zebras under the pump, and they're going to step up and try and take the lead here from the penalty spot, and it's going to be Adam Gorry to step up and take the spot kick. He drives it home, and South Hobart take the lead just 7 minutes into the Lakoseljac Cup quarterfinal. Adam Gorry, dead-eye dick from the penalty spot.
Coolly done there from South Hobart's favourite ranger, Adam Gorry. A lot of power with that one. Look at the replay, side foot the bottom corner, Kamara. They're pretty flat-footed. That's usually an indicator he was thinking the other way to start with. And South Hobart off to a flying start here today. One thing they have been lacking so far this year is in terms of goals, which was flagged earlier in the season, but they'll be very happy to get that one under their belt. We've seen Hobart Zebras come back from behind a fair bit this season, so I don't think they'll be too disheartened. As we now see Schmidt on the ball, looking to play the long ball to DeVecchi. Jaden Hay coolly plays it out to Robinson. Morthog charging in with the slide tackle. Good pressure there and a flick header from Van Dorn. Goes as far as out of players. The chef looks to cook something up from the sideline here. Throws into the Morthog. No pressure from Robinson. Back to Cook. That's a Dogger Brown. And on the far side appears to be Gorry playing a more advanced role here today. DeVecchi comes back from the attacking position, nearly gets through to Gorry. Now Ackley, good pace to this game in the first 10 minutes. Long ball deflected, and as far as the draft, Oscar Thomas. Now the Morthog wants to play through. Chorizo manages to get in, and I'm enjoying the intensity of Nick Morton's play so far here today, boys.
Yeah, he said he was one who would need to make a big impact for his team today, and he swings this to the back post in the Adam Gorry direction, rising high. He's well defended though, and then charging down. That clearance was Alex Walter, just buzzing about the pitch with a good intensity at the moment, South Hobart. I'm not sure the Zebras are quite matching him in that department.
And I think that's absolutely right, as we see. Have a look at our heat map for a second here, and it's been all up this end for South Hobart, certainly in the last 5 minutes or so. So perhaps the Zebras just staying on balance early, but pressure is starting to tell from South Hobart here, and their press is working very well, which is a feature of their game that we love.
They have been a slow starting team this year, haven't they, the Zebras? There's been a number of occasions they've been fantastic in the second halves of games, but they've had to be because they've linked out of the blocks a little, and again, they've been jumped by South Hobart today. So it's not an unfamiliar position, but it's a position you want to continuously find yourself in, because sooner or later, your luck tends to run out.
Yeah, it does indeed, and I'm just looking at the South Hobart lineup. For once, you've got Gorry and Schmidt on the same side as the Morthog went right through the back of Robinson there, so it's certainly a different look from Ken Morton as well, possibly going with a 5 at the back with the looks of it. Schmidt, Dogger Brown and Oscar Thomas with Ryan Cook and Gorry on either side, so he's certainly mixing it up here today. Is the wily Silver Fox Ken Morton over there, the huge sloop. Now Ackley, only as far as Alex Walter, who's had pretty much the freedom of most of Darcy Street so far. Lays it to Adam Gorry. He's got 3 in the box to aim for, and it's just about going to chip the keeper. Sheku Kamara not looking terribly confident under that high ball.
Didn't mind it from Adam Gorry, just trying to catch the keeper out, and fantastically quick transition into attack. They take the short corner straight to the chef in acres of space, and he tries to chip Kamara as well, perhaps sensing the keeper maybe a little bit down and susceptible. They might be remembering back to round 1, fellas.
Yeah, Adam Gorry's cheeky shot on goal, let's call it, at the near post there, catching Kamara out. He's very much in that sweeper keeper mould, really likes to step out from his goal, so it's not a bad ploy to get him back on his line. Much like a tennis player when you try and get him behind the baseline.
Trying to get him off balance perhaps as Sklenage hasn't seen much of it early. Presented up to get that one. Sanders, lovely ball from the Colonel. It sprung Iski Van Dorn. He's charging towards the box. It's Iski Van Dorn cutting it back from McEwen. And Oscar Thomas did really well in defence.
Yeah, he did, because Ryan Cook certainly seemed to have had the better gotten by Iski Van Dorn just there as he stormed into the space, perhaps just over-contributing to that challenge there, but great covering space from Oscar Thomas.
See Kobe Kemp in your picture there. Definitely not in the playing attire, unfortunately. And we wish him all the best with his recovery. See him back out there dominating again as a long throw in the ghetto direction. He's surrounded by Zebras, but he worked it nicely. Now the long ball over the top tries to spring Davichi Marines, and I think that's why Jaden Hayes playing centre back today. Just a little bit of extra pace to track Davichi Marines, but Morton's done really well here. Worked it to Alex Walter in space, and Walter blazes high and wide.
Yeah, I have to say, I wouldn't have minded a little bit of defending like that from Laurent Koscielny in the first leg of the Atletico game. But brilliant work there from Jaden Hay to not boot the ball into his own face and allow his team to concede a horrific away goal.
You all right, buddy? You all right?
No, I'm not well.
For those playing at home, Arsenal bingo, 12 and a half minutes before that came out, as Sheku Kamara is over the top of this goal kick. Until it's still a sore point. A good 3 days on there for the Arsenal supporter in the commentary box. Is rising high as Jakob Sklenage. Now to Iski Van Dorn. Back to Robinson, playing in a really tight area. There's about 9 players all within 10 metres of each other. Good body from Van Dorn. Surely a kick in the back there on him. Ghetto really getting amongst it here, and Morton trying to get through. It's almost like a futsal scrappy under-14s game down the front here. Possibly some width might be good, and the ball's finally out of play. Jaden Hay just put his foot through it. To get some distance, I think, as the Giraffe manages to win the header and the foul.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Marcage is an innovative coach, but the scrum that we had on the byline just down here was pretty unique, I have to say. But South Hobart certainly showing their dominance early in this game with the penalty goal here. Certainly had the benefit of position, but they do look dangerous on the break there, fellas, and I think that's a pretty good indication of how good that Zebras strike force is.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too much shape from Zebras, especially in the midfield and front line in the first 15 minutes. The defence is fairly solid back four that we've come to expect, but it seems to be just a bit erratic in the forward half. There's some miscommunication there, nearly results in Sheku Kamara having another moment there. The Warthog putting good pressure on him, and I think so far it's been a masterstroke to play Alex Walter in the Jack Turner role, buzzing through the middle of the park. High energy as always, shutting that one down and pretty much forcing Jaden Hay to pop that one right in, nearly into Darcy Street on the far side there. Adam Corey with probably the worst attempt to the throw-in I've seen this year. Completely slipped out of the back of the hand, that one.
He's going to get another attempt at it though, which is generous of the rules.
Exceptionally generous.
I think that's called the Deucerer.
He's just trying to channel his Jason Crozier there. Wolves, as this one's worked to Alex Walter, back to Adam Gorry. Walter, now Davichi Marines, gets his head up and has a run, skips into the box. The Brazilian surrounded by Zebras here. There's 4 of them, they can't get the ball off him though. He worked it back to Gorry, now to Alex Walter. He's got a few to pick out here. Over the head, Robinson was away. South still on the attack, Davichi Marines. Gorry riding shotgun. Drifts back inside with the fancy feet. Now with a left-footed cross to the back post, which just floats harmlessly behind for a goal kick.
Cook just potentially offside there? Because he'd taken up the far position on the far post there, but just didn't quite make the run there, even though it seemed to settle for him. So
I was more concerned with Kamara letting the ball bounce in his 6-yard box, which is probably...
And that was the second thing that I was thinking. So perhaps he was just aware of something that we weren't.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be for the first time that happens as Kamara launches that one into the sky. Good contest from Sklenage, manages to get the ball now to Van Dorn. He's got an overlapping runner in Sunday McKeown, but doesn't quite get there. And Kieran Brown launches that one high. Dwayne Pipe just got pushed under that one a bit there from Davici Marins. And himself a free kick. Jaden Hay looking to go pretty direct here. Not quite the usual quick free kick or quick corner we see from the Zebras. They're taking their time here today. Bit of a slower pace of play. Jaden Hay really pushing the back there. Not called. Zebras launched that one back in. Huge salute with the enormous chest and got rugby tackled from behind by Cook, and he's still down on the ground. Is Hughie. Togetto looking to play that one through. An unfortunate touch from Walsh. Plays in Davici Marins. He's got two up front. Adam Gorry. He's got two in the box to aim for. Goes back to Davici Marins. And back to Gorry. He's leaving him plenty of time to size that one up. Togetto nearly gets in front of Kamara. And comes out to claim well. 2v2 at the back here if the Zebras can make it work. Glenage back into the giraffe, Oscar Thomas, but he just reaches over. And the giraffe clutching at some food, and then Robinson launches that one right into the South Hobart bench.
Yeah, safety first from Big Ben. He's a moment of respite for the Zebras defence. They've certainly been under the pump. Nearly going here is the chef. Goes to Nick Morton, good foot in from Robinson. Schmidt cleaned up, but played it to Walter before doing so. Just warning Hughesloot there as Gorry combining with Morton, set him a task, and the Morthog wriggle out of this one. Walsh showed good strength. And the Dwayne Pipe clears away to Jakob Sklenage. Back now to the Calgary Flyer, Iski Van Dorn. Sklenage, heavy touch, let in the experienced Frenchman. Shut that one down. Walsh again repels as Morton was breaking him behind. Hughesloot. Schmidt scrapping hard in midfield there, and spill on the way of Morton. Keeps it in. Surprisingly, opting to send it down the line for Schmidt, and it'll end up being a Zebras throw-in.
As we've seen Walsh stay down for a bit longer there before taking the throw-in. Just possibly got a knock to the side there. And he's taking his time in retrieving the ball there from another one of South Hobart's experienced ball boys. Abby Marquez barking out instructions to his substitutes there. Oh,
geez, I think barking doesn't give him enough credit there. He was roaring like a lion.
Yes, like, hopefully not a lion hunting as fresh zebra as Dwayne Walsh has really hit the ground. He's gone down again, and I think it's going to have to be an early substitution.
I think the Lions had their fill of zebra this year.
Yeah, they just gorged themselves, feasted on the carcass a few weeks ago, didn't they? As stoppage for the injury here.
It is Dwayne Pipe again who's staying down, so hopefully this isn't related to the earlier incident, but he's a player that we love here. Always hard at the ball, and although I suppose he's technically played out of position as a left back, he's always willing to do the job for the team. So either a buttocks, hip or hamstring injury here by the looks of it. He looks to be in quite a bit of discomfort.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually something that would give anyone discomfort around that area, but he used to be giving the Dwayne Pipe a little bit more than normal. So it's just a small break in play here, and interesting to see what substitution will be made from Coach Marquez. Bloomfield, Geordie Muller and Jordan Mundy on the bench to choose from. I probably think it would require some form of rearrangement, possibly the versatile Jaden Hay going somewhere, or Ackley out to a wing position. There's a few possibilities, but it's probably one position where they don't have any direct depth on the bench particularly. You've got Bloomfield who can do a job.
I think Bloomfield would be probably most likely, but it seems that Jordan Muller, he can't be too injured. He's going to be sent out there, so you'd imagine he's less than 100% if he's not starting, but Marquez has decided he's got no alternative but to thrust Jordan Muller in there. So
wouldn't be surprised if we see Jaden Hay move over there and perhaps Robinson move into permanent centre-back position, despite how
it looks like Ackley's out there. Looks like Ackley's out there for the moment. We'll wait to see how that changes things up. Ackley out to left back, and then probably Geordie Muller into the centre mid area, I'd suggest.
I do think he wants Jaden Hay in that central defensive role for his pace, so I'm not sure he's going to want to move him out of there so soon, but it's going to require a bit of a shuffle as Muller takes his place alongside of Huxley. And yeah, you're right, it's Ackley who's going to have to do the left-back duties. And no doubt South will be keen to test him.
He should get a bit of freedom out there operating though so far, because it's been a little bit hard to tell with almost lopsided shape that Zebras are running with. But Robinson's certainly not been looking to get forward up the pitch very quickly as the header gets into a dangerous spot, and well defended there by, I think, Robinson to knock it away.
Young Harutza heading that one away.
The other one of the twin towers there in the Zebras back lines.
As we just have a look in the back of the shot there, we can see the Dwayne pipe limping away there, so certainly not good signs there for the Zebras, and hopefully a speedy recovery to Dwayne Walsh.
Yeah, not what we want to see, and his day done, and hopefully not too many weeks in the future, but doesn't look great there for Dwayne Walsh. James Ackley will have to do the job at left back, and South will certainly test him with Adam Gorry bombing on at every opportunity, and he's got this corner. He goes near post. Muller easily away, just a little bit more elevation there, Gorry. Schmidt leads the charge back at the ball. Terrific chase from Iski Van Dorn, but composed with South Hobart. They knock it long now, looking for Dogger Brown. Couldn't quite get there, and now Huxley looks up and sees a few options. He opts for Sunday McEwen. Spreads it across there to Jakob Sklenage. Back to Huxley. It's now wide to the Colonel, who just stands this one up for a running. Sklenage attacking the ball, but he couldn't get near it. And behind for the goal kick.
Galloping like there, Sklenage trying to get up there like a horse in a show jumping event. Wasn't the most perfect technique I've ever seen. As Kieran Brown takes this one short to the giraffe, Oscar Thomas. And now looking long, I don't think that's where he intended on putting it, Kieran Brown. Works out okay for the moment as Julie Muller directing traffic in centre mid. Now out to Sunday. He's probably got the pace advantage over Dogger Brown here. Elects not to use it. Back to Muller. There's the slide rule. That one through, but as far as South Hobart. Deveki Marins now with Isaac DeGhetto storming out. Still Deveki Marins left that one a bit far. Nice skill. There's covering defender Benjamin Robinson.
And
Jaden Hay.
There is the benefit of how Gabriel Marcage has clearly told his back four to be very, very narrow today. And as we just saw one centre-back being beaten, the right-back Robinson was able to slot in and bail his team out there. So full credit to him for lining up defensively that well, but maybe just not helping them in possession at points.
DeGhetto tried to get on the end of Walter's pass, but what's that did well. Ben Robinson got himself in a little bit of trouble, but had the safety net of the big checking machine back there, so it's away, and the chef will pick this one up. Sends it down the line for the Morthog. Just tries to body up on Ben Robinson, who showed good strength again. Corralled nicely. Iski Van Dorn. Sanders waited for it, and attacking the ball was Oscar Thomas, but then he coughed it up to Iski Van Dorn. What can the Canadian conjure up here? Not a whole lot. Just flying in was Alex Walter, but too over the top for Tony Pearce like himself. Free kick going the Zebras' way.
Oh, I don't know about that. I didn't see a lot wrong with that challenge.
We'll
to be fair,
at the replay, possibly clipped by the chef.
Bit of cook there. Bit overcooked.
You were looking more at Sklenage, unintentional knee to the face of Alex Walter there afterwards. Now, gaze was drawn as Jaden Hay wants to deliver this one, and I completely agree with your point, Jack Morgan. Ben Robinson staying right back on the halfway line, which we certainly didn't see on Anzac Day. As Hay looks towards the back post, the tall timber of Huxley rising up with a crowd of bodies there, Dogger Brown. Jaden Hay with the Mordhog for company. Raise that one out wide, trying to get the ball back in. Geordie Muller traps it well. Now to Ackley, the makeshift left back. Looks to Jakob Sklenage in an unfamiliar position out there. In fact, because it's not him, that's why it's unfamiliar. Harutza in an unfamiliar position for a centre back. Adam Gorry over the throw in another new role as right wing back, although when he plays right back, that's usually what he does anyway. Wants to stay pretty high up the park. Right in, looking for DeVecchi. Nothing found there and thumped back. Will Kieran Brown prevent the corner? Not quite, despite his best sliding attempt. I think that was the intended back pass.
Yeah, I don't think that was quite what he had in mind, but Zebras only getting a little bit of play up this end of the ground. It's been a tough job for them trying to get out of their own end. South Hobart firmly in the ascendancy in the opening 25 minutes here. 1-0 the score as the Zebras will look to carry their usual threat from the set piece. Hughes, Luke and Harutza, a couple of good targets. As this one comes down with snow on it. Straight on the head of DeGhetto. Didn't really clear it overly well. Went straight to Iski Van Dorn, who now swings in a teasing ball, which Dogger Brown allows to see away. Back in by Muller. Sanders will want to turn onto his left. You know that. He does just that, but so too Alex Walker. The drive comes in, deflects awkwardly, and well reacted by Kieran Brown. That would have been a tough one. They could change direction at the last second. He sends them away immediately.
Impressive getting two hands on that, Kieran Brown. It took a wicked deflection off the studs of someone at the 18-yard box as we have another look at that one. Jordy Muller rising high. And Sanders with a pretty acrobatical attempt here at trying to get a free kick.
I think
deflected off.
I think he does have a little bit of a point in that there was a certain body check there, but when you leap a metre into that body check, you're not going to help your chances of getting a free kick very much.
And the ball is 15 metres away. As this pass there from Jane Hay puts in the Maudhold. Great ball to DeVecchi Marins. Trying to get on that right foot. Just gets a toe in. Goes down Harutza and wins a corner. So good opportunity there for DeVecchi Marins. Probably a left foot. Left footer in that situation. Would have hit it just before, but well defended eventually by Muller and Harutza.
He just didn't seem too keen to take it on the left foot after the first chance that he took, which was hit straight down the throat of Camera. So, yeah, just trying to get back onto the right foot there, jinking into a couple of players from the Zebras, but earning a corner in the end here, and it's curled in by Gorry. DeVecchi Marins. Oh, and what a save on the line from Camera.
And Sheku Kamara, the cat-like reflexes there. He gets across. It's a strong palm to keep this one out. Good contact made. Been lively up top, the Brazilian. That is a fantastic save from Sheku Kamara.
That is top draw.
Keeping it at 1-0. Could be worse, South Hobart. Find themselves a free kick on halfway. Luke Farrell leaned down for the armbar here, I think. But that could so easily have been 2-0.
Certainly one of those cases where he's 1-1 now. Camera.
The cheek of Van Dorn there, just trying to steal 10 metres. And the Mordog was not having a bar of that. In the end, we'll be taken back this side of halfway. And he swings it across to Juan Harutza. Jimmy Ackley with something to chase. DeVecchi Marins covering plenty of territory. Corey with a big fresh air swing there. Now Hughes Loop looking for Sanders. Reading it was Brown. Got in front of him. Scrapping away there. Oh, well done, Dan Brown. Still going down Brown until he's unceremoniously brought to the deck by Hughes Loop.
Oh, and he's just going to get a warning for that. That's got to be a slice. That is some aged fine cheddar as far as I'm concerned if we're getting into our cheese categories. He's gotten very stuck in there.
He's lucky to get away with that one. Just the ticking off for Hughes Loop. I reckon the next one is certainly into the book as Brown over the head of Walker straight onto that man Hughes Loop. Stooping down was Luke Farrell.
Just tried to retaliate by giving Hughes Loop a bit of concussion there with the ball, Dogger Brown, so full credit to him. Yeah. We see Schmidt getting pressured very quickly here by Jakob Schlenage, which forced him into playing a poor pass. Robinson on the ball now for the Zebras, and he gets it into Jordy Muller, who tries to jink past too. But it's Nick Morton. He's in all kinds of space. He's got to run it to his left. He might go himself here. Always rising, just leaning back a little bit there. Perhaps the wrong option from the Maudhold.
I think Gabby Marquez will be pretty happy to let them have shots from that sort of range most of the day. I don't think they want any through balls to DeVecchi Marins or inside the 18-yard box and the other challenges, but from 30 yards out, we've seen Walter and Maudhold now have a few of those shots and pretty much just let.
With DeGhetto and DeVecchi making those runs, though, he had more time and space to continue running at the opposition than taking on that shot.
Yeah, they've dropped off every time South have run at them. They've been quite happy to sit back and let them shoot from distance. And that one's out of play.
Well, just when they're getting back in defence, South Hobart, it's a pretty interesting formation. It's almost like a 3-3-2-2. It's looking pretty interesting with DeGhetto staying up pretty high. Mordog and Walter as box-to-box midfielders. Luke Farrell across the same line as Cook and Gorry. So it's pretty interesting there from the Wiley Fox. Nothing traditional about it as Mr. Thomas puts a foot through that one. Trying to possibly have a shot on goal. We know he likes doing that here from a million miles out. Husky Van Dorn. Down to Robinson. Good ball inside to the Colonel. We really haven't seen a lot of, and that's a pretty disgusting clip on Luke Farrell. And I don't know about you, I wasn't as convinced at the aged cheddar on the first one on Hugh Sloop, but I thought that was a pretty ordinary challenge there from the Colonel.
Yeah, he just certainly tried to follow through and give a whack there. The Colonel, perhaps a little bit of frustration creeping into the game, given the lack of service that he's had today from the Zebras, but yeah, perhaps a little lucky to get away with it.
One of those potato and gravies from the bottom drawer, that one in my opinion, but still only 1-0 down. Hobart Zebras, and it's a launch throw-in from Robinson. Good flick on header from the Colonel. The Mordhog battling with Geordie Muller, getting a fairly good shirt pull from Muller, and I think that's the one that's been called by Tony Pert.
The initial foul being blown there. Mordhog with a chance to catch his breath and swing something back in, or they might play it short. This is so often their way.
Mordhog thought it was for the body check, not the shirt pull. Trying to steal an extra 10 yards.
Takes it back, so Alex Walter wants this one stood up to the back post for him to attack.
Tell you what, lads, it's early kickoff must have confused a few people. There's a large crowd in here at Darcy Street as that one's gone to the back post. Jaden Hay, huge sloop with a fresh airy.
The
clear
people
to Gorry.
always come for the magic of the cup, Paul.
And they do, just at about half time, or half hour in, as that one's misplaced from Walter. Now Hugh Sloop. Jacobs Glenage with a cheeky no-look back heel, and that's a lovely ball over the head of Gorry, but handball from Sunday will leave that one going back to South Hobart.
That's a bit of a stiff handball, I think.
More shoulder, you reckon?
Just certainly by the side. Very natural position.
It's good Thomas on the line for Cook. Worked it back in there. DeGhetto was working hard, but Jaden Hay had the front position. Glenage trying to control it.
I think that was a great shot actually between Hay and DeGhetto there, as DeGhetto was straining to make up the pace, and it looked like Jaden Hay was barely putting in an effort at all, and just comfortably glided out of his defence to gather that one.
You don't see Jaden Hay diving it too often in games, as Hugh Sloop gets put into there by Luke Farrell, a big up and under from Morton, which Kamara should comfortably collect, and he does. He launched this one right back down the middle of the ground. Got some good purchase on that one. Allowed to bounce, and Glenage on over the top to Sunday McEwen at air swing. He might get a second crack at it. McEwen, he tried to cross. Still McEwen. Now it's Sanders. Saved by Brown. And still McEwen. The danger not cleared. Now Hugh Sloop lashes one from distance, and that's wide of the mark. A shooting gallery there. And the goal of South remains protected. A good stop in there from Kieran Brown.
You know, it was almost like they were at the Hobart show having a go on the air rifles here. Every shot that they had just pinging out at some obscure angle, as if some horrific deity had just rigged it for them there, the poor Hobart Zebras. But yeah, just getting a little bit lucky there, the South Hobart defence. You can't afford to allow them to have that many chances. They will put them away with last year's 2 top scorers lining up top for the Zebs.
Yeah, probably more reminiscent of my attempt at putting the balls in the clown's mouth there, though, from Zebras with their accuracy. It was pretty wild in the end, but that kick from Sheku Kamara, they travelled a good 70 metres on the first bounce, and Sunday McEwen made contact. That's handball, surely. Yeah, calls Tony Pert below the elbow.
Well, then how wasn't it given against Stoke last night to relegate them?
That one's a bit too new for me. I bothered to have a good night's sleep last night.
Here's Dogger Brown. I think the other thing with that passage of play is just you can't let those goal kicks bounce. So one of the defenders just need to get at that one. You let it bounce, the old chaos ball can happen. And Glenage just made the most of it. Yeah. Suddenly they were on at the back.
And I think it was Dogger Brown that let that one go and was hoping that Schmidt was about to tuck in behind him and get that one away. But yeah, just not dealt with well enough there by the South Hobart defence. can't afford to just hope that one of your teammates will sort it out. You need better communication than that.
Zebra's trying to get back into this one. It was a little bit sloppy, and the Colonel quick to take it. Glenage who want to get the free kick. There's not a lot in support here. They managed to win a throw-in, but this can be such thing as taking it too quickly at times, although they've done it nicely here, and Ben Robinson has noticed some space and charged up into it, and then cuts inside of Morton. Dexterous from the big fella here. His pass was very much that of a defender though, and easily cut out.
Great dukes on the sidelines there too. That's one for the highlights reel, I reckon.
Well, that is Lakoseljac himself in the Lakoseljac cuff, just showing the family name there. Dukes Loop trying to burrow in down the right, and he crosses. Schmidt gets a foot at it. Brown's going to have to contest here.
That's a foul.
Away from Sanders, who tunneled it.
Wow. You know, they are a protected species, keeper, and when you see blatantly obvious fouls being missed like that, it's a shock. What a jinking run from Devecchi. Just seals some candy there. The footwork from the Brazilian. Gets in on the right, sticks it up to the far stick, but just headed away there by Ackley, who's doing a fine defensive job filling in there.
Yeah, doing well is Ackley. Devecchi Marines with some lovely step overs from the streets of Brazil. That one, Alex Walter with a nice touch. Paul Schmidt out to Adam Gorry. Now Walter, Hughes nearly left a toe in there, just gets it Walter. And covering across eventually. Here's Geordie Muller, South Hobart. It's a good attacking play down here at the moment. There's good intensity to this game. 37 minutes in, been pretty consistent throughout as Adam Gorry looks to launch that one in the danger zone of Kamara. Good grab in the end. You'd think some keepers would punch that one over the bar, but did well to hold that one. Using all of his 7 seconds here before rolling it out to Muller. Got Walter and Farrell for company. TV just gets a toe in. Now the giraffe, Oscar Thomas. For the Mordoggers, trying to copy his compatriot from South Hobart with the step over there. Don't worry, I wasn't talking about Brazilian compatriot, don't worry. Mortoguinho, I think would be his name if that was the case. And Dawn. And they'll launch that one across the field to Sunday. Good flick header to the Colonel. Nice one too, he's got Sklenage inside. Back to Hughes Sloot. Tries to touch it onto the right foot. Now the ball coming in eventually from the Colonel. Almost falls to Jakob Sklenage. Oohs and ahs in the crowd there from South Hobart. They nearly got away with one there. Good body from Devecchi. He's got some talent and then gets clipped by Van Dorn.
I love it.
I've been super impressed.
Crowd favourite. Reminiscent of...
such quick legs.
Reminiscent of another South Hobart crowd favourite from down the years, Igor from Brazil many years ago.
Oh, of course, I remember him.
Devecchi not really got the build of a centre forward, does he? But he just gets his body in the right spot, and his feet are so fast. He tends to shield the ball well. He fights above his weight limit, that's for sure. He's been doing a fantastic job bringing others into the game, and that piece of play 3 or 4 minutes ago where he just cut a scythe through the middle of the Zebras midfield was fantastic to watch. He's been a great addition to the league, Renato Devecchi Marines, so definitely one that the Silver Fox has found, and he's on the ball again here. Jaden Hay trying to deal with him. That was unconventional defending, to say the least, and a free kick will go to the Brazilian.
Stay down a little longer, probably. They certainly twisted each other around there as we have a look at this again. Jinking past one, jinking past two, got fouled in the process. Needs to get down here, a few step overs in between as well. He's done well there. There's the Devecchi Marines. Dogger Brown over the free kick. He'll wait for the centre forward to get back to his natural position. And really DeGhetto up front at the moment. Dogger Brown will eventually get this free kick started. Calls from the referee to hurry it up. Launches that one right down the throat of Sunday McCune. Now Sklenage, who's played the target man role pretty well so far today. Hasn't had a lot of service. And Robinson doesn't often charge forward this half. He launches that one to the middle. Dogger Brown gets his head to that one. Alex Walter pops up well to Gorry. Down the line to the player of the day so far, Becky Marins.
Something that I've noticed about him too is that the second that a defender changes their heads one direction, he will cut back the other and react so quickly to it every time Becky Marins. I am loving watching this player play.
A joy to watch, that's for sure, the Brazilian, and his team are in the lead through 40 minutes here. It's been a good half from South Hobart. Iski Van Dorn's looking to change that.
No.
There's nothing that Oscar Thomas could do about that.
Yeah.
Such close range. Here is the chef, worked it to the Mortog Morton in the middle. Jordan will have read it well, but stretching to break up the play again, the Frenchman. He so excels in that role as for TV. Cook can't quite keep that one in play. Van Dorn still protesting the point, but within the harshest of decisions on the big giraffe. As Sklenage looks to turn in behind here, but Brown sweeps it back to his namesake. Kieran to get them going again. 3 minutes plus added time here remaining in the first half. The home faithful pretty content with what they've seen so far. But we know Zebras have been the best second half team in the state this year, so South would love to add another one before the break. Thomas to Cook. Muller hasn't shown any signs of the arm that kept him off the starting lineup so far. He's just moving the ball around here. Sklenage with a lovely little turn, but Schmidt kept on, keeping on and won the ball back. Now Mortog Morton dwells on it for a moment, slides it through for Walter, who goes the air release and just overhit it for an offside Isaac DeGhetto.
One of the first offside calls of the half as well. Think about it for Isaac DeGhetto. Sheku Kamara going to look to launch this one long. Only a couple of minutes left to go in this first half. It's almost a repeat of Anzac Day. Zebras 1-0 down going into the half. Now Harutza puts that one in front of Hayward. Becky Marins in close company. Now Ackley. A bit of room down there on the left-hand side, but undersells that one to Sunday. Nice little 1-2 through to him. Sklenage, he's up front, and good clearance there from Oscar Thomas. Appeals from both teams, but surely that's a corner kick to the Zebras.
He's actually having a superb game back there, Oscar Thomas. I cannot criticise the thing that he's done so far today. Granted, his team haven't been coming under the greatest amount of pressure, but everything that's come his way has been well dealt with.
Yeah, agreed. It's been a fantastic outing.
Probably outshining his very experienced defensive partner at this stage.
Yeah, Brown's done some good scrappy work. I think the South Hobart defence in general, apart from that one moment, been pretty solid. Iski Van Dorn sets it up to the back post. Huge salute the target, away by Brown.
Just a little bit of a connection with the head, so the whistle should go, perhaps, if he just stayed down. But a hard unit, and he's up and ready to go again.
Possibly a shiner in the morning there for Dogger Brown. Huge salute with a solid noggin on him himself. And this one's going to be launched into the box from Robinson. Everyone getting back there. Flick on from Huge salute. Now Geordie Muller. Back to Ackley. Launched forward to Sklenage, but Oscar Thomas stands strong under the pressure. Adam Gorry just clears that one immediately. He'd be used to some Rory Delap throw-ins with the referee Tony Pert from his championship days.
Probably officiated, stood next to the great man in his time, would have thought. Sanders couldn't get to that one. Zebras keep the hold of the ball. Ackley combining with Hugh Salute, just too much of a task for the youngster though.
I've actually seen a finer exponent of the long throw now. Yeah. Sam Muggleton. Sam Muggleton. He's a player who has hit the crossbar from a throw-in in 2 throws in a row in a single game.
Where from? There's this one's.
He's some League One team like Walsall or something. Very obscure, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, we are big advocates of the long throw here at Slice of Cheese. So we're in to added time in the first half. Can't be too much added time. I suppose there's that one stoppage for an injury. And Dwayne Walsh having his day ended prematurely as Jordan Muller, the man who came on for him, gets in the ball, sees nothing he likes, so he just turns back and says, just recycle that one. And no one really presenting for him, but patience from the Zebras here. Ackley down the line for Sanders, dueling with Dogger Brown. Two experienced customers going at it, and Brown did it nicely, won it to Gorry, who just launches it up the other end for Davici Marines to chase. He's got some serious wheels, and sticking out the leg was Harutza, a vital intervention.
Oh, what a challenge there.
He looked beat.
He looked completely beat and just stuck out every last inch. He's gone from a chorizo to a nice long stick of cabana there, Harutza, at the best possible moment.
Take note, Lauren Koscielny.
Oh, it's the Lauren Koscielny psychiatrist session here for Jake Morgan, just letting it all out.
Yep.
We're good listeners here at Slice and Cheese. As the throw-in looks to be taken short. Correction of Walter. And Gorry. He's got a whole lot of options, so goes back to Dogger Brown. We're a minute and a half into added time. This half, Dwayne Walsh injury may have taken a couple of minutes to get him off. There's James Ackley with
Just a check of the watch there. I wouldn't be surprised if we've only got another 10 seconds here to play. So looks like South Hobart will be holding that 1-0 lead from the penalty well taken early on. Just Zebras have started to come back into the match towards the end of that half there. So certainly a very entertaining first half, despite there not being too many chances. Good competition we've got going here, boys.
Yeah, I think South Hobart will be very happy with that. They needed a response today. It has been a sluggish start to the season, but that's been one of the better halves they've played this year. And they'll be happy to head into the sheds with a 1-goal lead. The Zebras, as we've mentioned a couple of times, have got a happy knack of charging back in the second halves of games. So really very well poised this match for what could be a Cup Classic.
Yeah, it certainly could be. It's been a good intensity to the match, as my colleague alluded to. Not too many gilt-edged chances. It's been a pretty honest contest in the middle. We'll see how Geordie Muller coming on, probably earlier than Coach Marko's wanted him to. We'll see how he goes with his legs in the second half, but it's been a pretty even contest here today so far. There's the keeper, he really had clean balls out of the air and punch effectively. No real gilt-edged chances as we have a look at a pretty full grandstand here at Darcy Street. Everyone running to the one from South Hobart Canteen on this lovely day, and we'll leave you with a few highlights from this match, and we'll see you again in about 10 minutes.
It's Big Ben Robinson moving forwards here. And they've got a cross in. It's Iski Van Dorn with a teasing ball. And Dogger Brown comes across.
I really thought right wing would be centre back today as the ball comes in towards the back post. Knocks that one over the top for a corner.
A youthful setup as the corner swung in by the Colonel to the back post. Huge loop the target. Brown rather flailing at it, but it'll be South Hobart's ball, so no threat there. But Season slid it through to the Mordhog. Tries to link up with Davici Marines. He'll pounce on the Marines. Kamara with the save. The first chance of the game falls away.
Falls into the centre. Alex Walters got most of Darcy Street there. He can lines it up from 30 yards. Good power, but Cheku Kamara had that one well covered.
I'm sure you boys flagged in pre-game before I arrived from a traditional vibe, gauging duties around the ground as we see a clear free kick here.
Volley it, but tracking back was Big Harutza. And then Dawn robbed by the Frenchman, and it might spill here for the Mordhog. Turns on the left, and back across the face. Just easily gathered in the end by
Kamara. Playing a nice 1-2. Putting Chorizo on his back side. Now Morton, now the 1-2 again. Shot. Calls for handball, not given from Tony Peck. Calls for a penalty again. This time he gives it. Cheku Kamara with the flank.
The spot kick. He drives it home. And South Hobart take the lead just 7 minutes into the Lakoseljac Cup quarterfinal. Adam Gorry, dead-eye dick from the penalty spot.
Poorly done.
Need to make a big impact for his team today, and he swings this to the back post in the Adam Gorry direction, rising high. He's well defended though, and then charging down. That clearance was Alex Walter, just buzzing about the pit. Luck tends to run out.
Yeah, it does indeed, and I'm just looking at the South Hobart lineup. Once you've got Gorry and Schmidt on the same side as the most of Darcy Street so far. Lays it to Adam Gorry. He's got 3 in the box to aim for, and it's just about going to chip the keeper. Cheku Kamara.
Fantastically quick transition into attack. They take the short corner straight to the chef in acres of space. And he tries to chip Kamara as well, perhaps sensing a keeper. Maybe Lanage hasn't seen much of it early. Presented up to get that one. Sanders, lovely ball from the Colonel. It sprung Iski Van Dorn. He's charging towards the box. It's Iski Van Dorn, cutting it back for McEwen. And Oscar Thomas did really well in defence. Richie Marines, but Morton's done really well here. Worked it to Alex Walter in space. And Walter blazes high and wide.
Yeah, I have to say, I wouldn't
erratic in the forward half. There's some miscommunication there. Nearly results in Sheku Kamara having another moment there. The Warthog putting good pressure on him, and I think so. Back there, not called. Zebras launched that one back in. Huge salute with the enormous chest, and got rugby tackled from behind by Cook. And back to Gorry. He's leaving him plenty of time to size that one up. To Ghetto nearly gets in front of Kamara. And comes out.
He's not been looking to get forward up the pitch very quickly as the header gets into a dangerous spot, and well defended there by, I think, Will Robinson to knock it away.
South Hobart, Deveki Marines now. And Isaac DeGhetto storming out. Still Deveki Marines left that one a bit far. Nice skill. There's covering defender.
Teasing ball, which Dogger Brown knows to see away. Back in by Muller. Sanders will want to turn onto his left. You know that. He does just that, but so too Alex Walker. The drive comes in, deflects awkwardly, and well reacted by Kieran Brown.
Pass there from Jane Hay, puts in the Mordhole. Great ball to Deveki Marines. Trying to get on that right foot, just gets a toe in.
Earning a corner in the end here, and it's curled in by Gorry. Deveki Marines. Oh, and what a save on the line from Kamara.
And Sheku Kamara reading it was Brown, got in front of him, scrapping away there. Oh, well done, Dan Brown. Still going down Brown until he's unceremoniously brought to the deck.
But it's Nick Morton. He's in all kinds of space. He's got to run it to his left. He might go himself here. Always rising, just leaning back a little bit there, perhaps the wrong.
Good ball inside to the Colonel, we really haven't seen a lot of, and that's a pretty disgusting clip on.
Allowed to bounce, and Sklenage over to the top to Sunday McEwen at air swing. He might get a second crack at it. McEwen, he tried to cross, still McEwen. Now it's Sanders, saved by Brown, and still McEwen. The danger not cleared. Now Hughes lashes one from distance, and that's wide. Easily cut out.
Great dukes on the sidelines there too. That's one for the highlights reel.
Well, that is Lakoseljac himself in the Lakoseljac cuff, just going down the right, and he crosses. Schmidt gets a foot at it. Brown's going to have to contest here.
That's a foul.
Away from Sanders, who tunneled the
wow. You know, the protected species keeper, and when you see blatantly obvious fouls being missed like that, it's a shock. What a jinking run from Deveki. Just seals some candy there. The footwork from the Brazilian. Gets in on the right, sticks it up to the far stick, but just headed away.
Throughout is Adam Gorry. Looks to launch that one in the danger zone of Kamara. Good grab. In the end, you right foot. And the ball coming in eventually from the Colonel. Almost falls to Jakob Sklenage. Good one there. Good body from Deveki. He's got some talent and then gets clipped by Van Dorn.
I love him.
That's a Gorry who just launches it up the other end for Deveki Marines to chase. He's got some serious wheels, and sticking out the leg was Harutza, a vital intervention.
A nice one too, putting it for his own.
the second half here at Darcy Street. The hosts, 1 goal to the good thanks to an Adam McGorry penalty. Hobart Zebras have been a fantastic second half team this year. Will they be able to mount the fight back? They have done so on 4 different occasions this year, so they've got plenty of form in that area. But this South Hobart team on their home patch are a tough proposition. They're playing brilliant football, and they're really going to have to turn things around, the Zebras, if they're going to get back into this
Just
one.
interesting seeing the two teams wander out too. The South Hobart team is a complete pack. Happily 1-0 in the lead, but a lot of separation between the Zebras players as they were coming out of the tunnel just there, and just perhaps taking them a little longer to wipe the spittle from their face as they copped the absolute hairdryer at half-time from the manager, who was a little bit unhappy with their performance in that half. So I think they've certainly had a fire lit underneath them and are going to be looking to come out hard in this half, the Zebs.
Yeah, the vibe around the ground, expert Jake Morgan there, finding about the potential hairdryer Gabby Markoseljac may have given his players there at half-time. 1-0 down, I mean...
If that's potential, mate, I'd hate to see what a full-blown one is.
Exactly right, as we get underway in this first half. Pretty ineffective first touch there from South Hobart. No changes by the looks of it by either side at half-time. So a quick look at the Zebras lineup. Certainly none for South Hobart, and all looks pretty above board as well for the Tilford Zebras. So on a launch tie in the Alex Walter direction, gets a good head on it. Now Isaac in the ghetto. He's clearly shirt pulled there from Hurutson. Nothing called there from the referee, and staying onside is Colonel Sanders. Well intercepted there from Connor Schmidt. As calls to stop stealing 10 yards on the throw in there, heated by Tony, the referee here today. Long throw back to Hurutson. Going to go all the way back to the keeper, Sheku Kamara. Good bit of distance on that one, held up in the air a tad. Quite able to win it is Robinson, so they're getting the chance from the throw-in. No changes for the Zebras either, so it'll be launched long from Robinson. Just getting in the way is Muller, battling with his fellow number 6, Luke Farrell. He's on the ball now. Connor Schmidt walking to find Walter. Hugh Sloot battling away.
Jeez, it looked a bit of a foul there on Walter from Hoogsloot, and that would be about the 700th from Hoogsloot today. So just wouldn't be surprised if he starts to get a slice of cheese for a little bit of, well, for a few too many fouls rather there for Luke Hoogsloot, because he started to rack them up.
Yeah, he's certainly on the accumulator at the moment. Here's Hoogsloot. Throw in the direction of Walter, and Walter potentially getting one back on Hoogsloot there.
Yep, certainly was a clear foul there on Hoogsloot. Just have to draw to attention his. He cops one back. But yeah, no real chances again to speak of in the first couple of minutes here for the Zebs. Geordie Muller gets it out wide to Robinson. He looks in the Hoogsloot direction, but just not on the same wavelength as Iski Van Dorn there. Cleared away comfortably by Cook.
Instructions being barked out from Gabby Markoseljac, reverberating around the grandstand here. That one's into the box volley, first time from Iski Van Dorn. And plenty of contact with that one, did the Canadian.
Yeah, and DeGhetto just tracking back downtown to help out his defensive partner Cook. Looks like the long throw is being heaved in. Rory Delap. The big heave to the dome of Hoogsloot, but headed away by Dogger Brown and cleared.
Now back to Jan Hurutsa. Tried to play it down the line to Robinson. Oh. Absolute howls from Gabby Markoseljac in front of us here. He's not happy with his players so far.
Wounded animal right then, seeing that pass. Berger through to South Hobart, look to break. It's Alex Walter charging down the left wing, running at Jaden Hay. Tried to slide the left foot across through, but Jaden Hay had his positioning spot on. Puts it behind, but again the threat of South Hobart on the break there. Alex Walter bursting forwards. Davici Marines, they've got plenty of pace there. DeGhetto too.
Yeah, just knocked that one well in front of the defender standing flat-footed. He's a good ploy when you got the pace of Alex Walter. Now back. That one's launched aimlessly for a goal kick. Another ambitious attempt from South Hobart. Sheku Kamara there.
Ambitious is a pretty polite way of putting that one, Paul.
I'm in a very polite mood today, clearly.
So that was pretty terrible, but wouldn't have hit if there were 5 goals there. But I like the intention nonetheless from, I think it was Schmidt with the long-range effort as Feral TV goes head-to-head with Hoogsloot and it falls to Ackley. Just the deflection there before Devecchi cannot keep it in. I love the little flick away there from the Brazilian too.
Yeah, we love that bit of cheekiness up here. That slice of cheese, and Jaden Hayes setting Iski Van Dorn a challenge. He manages to keep it in, but now putting Harutza under pressure. Hughes-Loop went the back flick. No foul given
Almost a
on
dive.
Hughie.
Almost a dive, I thought, from Hoogsloot there.
You're really wanting Hughie to get that slice of cheese.
I don't know about that.
That's the campaign for it.
The campaign. I'm sure Tony's listening to me up here talking my rubbish.
They do love a good petition up here at South Hobart. So
Had some effective ones in the past as Ackley was pressured by Devecchi Marins, got rid of it. Now Morton will pressure. Kamara's come out and then just puts it out of play. I'm sure they handled that particularly well in the Zebras, but South Hobart will take the throw against the Brazilian who knocks it over the top of Muller. And now Devecchi Marins gets past Hay and gets past Harutza and gets past Kamara. What a goal! And after Devecchi Marins, South Hobart double their advantage with a bit of Brazilian magic.
absolute.
He just swept past one, swept past two, swept past the third. Could have even swept past the fourth and then just jinx it into that far post. Nobody going to him, boys.
Nah, bit of Jogger Benito coming to South Hobart there, courtesy of Renato Devecchi Marins. He's beaten 3 of them. He really didn't want to hit it with the left foot. He eventually got enough power on it to rifle it past Sheku Kamara. And Zebras have got all to do.
And they say the Mona Lisa is Da Vinci's finest work, but I am absolutely throwing all that history out the window, and that is the finest work that I've seen from Da Vinci.
And that in the Louvre.
Yep.
It's suddenly a mountain to climb here for the Zebras. 2 down. They need a response. So often they've been great flying out of the sheds in the second halves of games. South Hobart get the jump on them here. They've looked a better team. And they're going to need to turn things around quickly because this man is running right at the moment. It's Devecchi Marins again. He tracks back this time. Knocks it to Connor Schmidt. Schmidt sliding in the Deghetto direction again. Kalutza got the foot in. The Colonel Sanders charging down the left wing with a raking ball across the field to Iski Van Dorn, who takes it down, pokes it through for Sklenage. Sklenage just well corralled by Brown. Back to Van Dorn and then closed down by Farrell. Great defensive work, but that's a good ball too from Muller. Picks out Sanders. Across to Van Dorn. A good exercise in ball control this from the Zebras. Muller. Again to Iski Van Dorn. Pass couldn't pick out Sklenage, but he turns and works it to Hughes-Loop. Slides it looking for Robinson. And a free kick for a foul on Hughes-Loop in a very dangerous area.
That's all about Dogger Brown preventing that opportunity there. Colonel Sanders flying down the left-hand side. Lovely ball to Van Dorn, and Dogger Brown did an expert job on Jakob Sklenage because if he got turned there, it was a 1v1 against the keeper. And then by the time he'd done that, the rest of the teammates had come back. So another free kick opportunity though. Full Zebras in a dangerous area. Jaden Hay electing not to be near this one. It looks like Jakob Sklenage.
You know, despite going 2-0 down just a second ago, that was probably the best period of play that I've seen from the Zebras throughout this game. They knocked the ball around really well there, actually, to just work this opportunity. And here it is. It looks like we've got Jaden Hay over the top. Or Sklenage just goes the little curler, but just straight into the wall there, not troubling it. Hay curls it into the box. Brown gets up, just gets a hand to it, and the more protected species than the spotted handfish, the goalkeeper, I would have to say.
Oh, I think he got tunnelled again like the other ones. Sanders goes right underneath him and makes full contact. And
I think the foul was in the back from McEwen.
McEwen, yeah. Well, at least we're on the same page thinking it was a foul. And
I think he's owed one from when he got clattered before and didn't get anything.
I've probably gone the wrong protected animal there. He's looking more the swift parrot today than the spotted handfish.
Possibly a bit of Mark Clattenburg in that one and doing a bit of evening up, which he's known to do, as Schmidt to the Mordhog. Now to Vetchman's a lovely through by Isaac to Ghetto first time. Bobbled by Kamara. And he just does enough there. That's the shaking goal, Sheku Kamara.
He was
Very
just
close.
about to dive to his right, wasn't he? And then the shot was attempted to be pulled into the near corner, but yeah, brilliant goalkeeping in the end. As they're linking up well here, South Hobart. Curled in by Morton, not dealt with by Ackley, and Gorry nearly tucks it in far post.
Gee, they're knocking on the door here. South Hobart, a third goal. Could well be decisive. They're all over the Zebras at the moment. Pushing hard. Adam Gorry stretching to keep that one in, but just concedes a goal kick instead. But South have come flying out of the sheds. They're determined to get their season back on track today. Pick their spot in the semi-finals, and they're well on the way to doing just that. They're playing some wonderful football. Linking up beautifully around the box as Hay goes to Ackley. Salute hopping deeper than we're accustomed to seeing him. Across now to Jordan Muller, a sense of urgency, but he's coughed it up here to Davici Marins again, the Brazilian. Slides it through for De Ghetto. It's Isaac De Ghetto on the angle, cuts it back. Davici Marins, 3-0. South Hobart away with it at Darcy Street, and the Brazilian has another one.
They can't stop him. What a brilliant 1-2 there by South Hobart to Vecchi Marins and into Ghetto. Just combining brilliantly there before he tucks away.
You wouldn't have put it past De Ghetto to hit that first time there, but lovely composure from the young striker. Manages to find the Vecchi Marins with the right foot. He didn't have a whole lot of space there, and off the post he put that one like he's playing snooker, plotting that one in the bottom corner. He's done well there, and at 3-0. It's going to be a hard road back for the Hobart Zebras with this one. They've seen him come back before this season as a substitution is made. Adam Sunday McKeown coming off with Jordan Mundy coming on.
Just a little bit of chair abuse there from Sunday McKeown. Frustration just being shown there. Not feeling that his team deserves to be 3-0 down, but the locals loved it at South Hobart, didn't they?
Absolutely, more ammunition. They're enjoying the day out at the football. It hasn't been the kindest year to them so far, but this is more the South Hobart we've come to know. They've really come into this game for a couple of disappointing results. No Kobe Kemp, no Jack Turner, no Pajari Sculthorpe, but what a response we've seen from them. It's been a typical South Hobart response, really. That's why they've been such a successful club down the years. They find a way to bounce back. They find new players and they get the results. Although the Zebras might be on here. Wonderful ball. It's going to be cut off by Kieran Brown though. And Dawn trying to spring Hay, who's suddenly charged forwards.
Yeah, Hay trying to go back to his wing days where he started the season a few weeks ago.
Just interesting having a look at the change here from the Zebs too. With Sunday McKeown coming off, it appears that we've had Mundy Wolf rather. Mundy Wolf. You know, those hyphenated names, they really get you. But he has slotted into the centre-back position, which is allowing Jaden Hay to try and get back up forward to try and work it in. And Sanders is in. Will he finish? Sanders, 3-1, and the game lives.
The Colonel giving Zebras some life here, reviving their potential. It's just a long flick on ball, and on the second ball, the Colonel rifles that one in the bottom corner again with the non-preferred.
Just slipped past him like a greasy bit of chicken onto the floor of the Colonels, didn't he? Brilliant work there from Colonel Sanders to just read the header there. Beautiful front and centre crumbing, really, and a beautiful slot into that far corner.
Well done, Jakob Sklenage. Won the header, directed the header, and drew both centre-backs, and that opened up that space, which the Colonel exploited. So a good response from the Zebras, and they've got goals in them in the second halves of games. They've done this a few times. They've bypassed Rangers.
We all need to remember that there's still at least 32, 33, 34, 35 minutes left to play, so there is certainly time for the Zebs to get back into it, and we've got a game again.
Yeah, they scored 3 in round 1 against South Hobart in the second half of that one. They scored 3 against the Warriors on Anzac Day and 5 against Rangers, so they've got plenty of form banging goals in. Goals aren't a problem for them, so they're going to still be believing, and they're going to fight to the final whistle. There's no doubt about that, so South can't afford to take their foot off the pedal, but I don't think this man's going to do that. He's been immense today, Davici Marins. And he tries to skip around Hughes Salute here and wins the throw in for his side as we push towards an hour gone here at Darcy Street. Nick Morton turning and sliding it through for the overlapping Gorry, who crosses to the back post. There's no one at home though. And Robinson will clear this one away down the line.
Hey boys, that was just crying out for Albie Lazinski to be on the end of that one, I have to say. Jeez. The big dome would have absolutely slotted that one. No, brilliant work combining there from Nick Morton and Adam Gorry on the outside. Taking control well of this game, South Hobart, but just conceding that goal earlier, you have to feel there's a little bit of nerves about the pitch because they can attack very quickly, as we're seeing now. Colonel Sanders and Jaden Hay combined for the Zebras. Gets a little bit of a run at Gorry before he tries to slot it back to Sanders, but well intercepted there from Connor Schmidt. He combines with Devechi with some more brilliant footwork. Just barged in the chest by Hay. Play on, says the referee. Hay gets a hold of it again. Sanders is just straight offside, and Oscar Thomas, who has been calm all day, clears the ball well for South Hobart.
Yeah, does exceptionally well there. Does the giraffe Oscar Thomas. Connor Schmidt. You read Jaden Hay like a book there. Lovely back heel from Glenallen. But again, Oscar Thomas coming across to cover. He's done pretty well, especially against the Colonel today, has Thomas.
Been superb today.
There's Jaden Hay, another proponent of the long throw. And he's got Muller for short and Huxley at the 6-yard line. He goes there, eventually cleared from Luke Farrell. James Ackley knocks it back in that direction. Alex Walter miscontrol, the rarity from him. Now Geordie Muller whips that one in low. Tucker Brown with a shank clearance and the diving save on Kieran Brown to no avail. One for the highlights reel there potentially.
Yeah, I just feel like you've got a bit more risk in perhaps getting a hand to that goal and conceding a chance than you do in preventing a corner just there. But he's the goalkeeper. I am the mug.
And Jacobs Glenage into Iski Van Dorn. He's got another chance here. Does the Czech striker. And that's deflected out for a corner. It's a goal kick apparently. The howls of the Zebras bench fans behind the goal there. And I've got to say I probably agree with them on that one. Let's have a look at the replay at first look. Had a fair bit of spin on it, and I'm not sure how that could have come off Glenage and gone that much spin on it, but nonetheless, back to Kieran Brown. He's got the Czech striker for company that launches that one long.
Perhaps just
thinking with a good jump.
Perhaps the referee just thinking the double deflection with the last goal kick chance, but gives them an opportunity now, South Hobart. Gorry tucks inside and runs into the channel. Looks up, sees Devechi, who was playing to Ghetto in, but he just made the run to the outside rather than the inside channel there, so just lets that one get away from him.
Thankfully now to Hay. Jacobs Glenage turns Docker Brown, who shakes his head in disgust immediately. Lovely ball to Huxley. They got numbers here, the Zebras. Another ball to Iski. Goes back to Huxley, who whips it in. Oscar Thomas sticks a leg out. Muller holding the fort at defensive mid. Hay with a lovely flick. It's Glenage on the left foot. And well cut out there from Connor Schmidt. The Zebras are starting to get on a roll here, boys.
Yeah, they've been running games out well, and they're just starting to lift a little. The goals give them a bump, and they're just trying to get back into this game. Still 2 goals down, and they take the short corner, as they so often do. Iski Van Dorn back to Jacobs Glenage. To the back post. Robinson's there, but it's going to float over his head, and behind it goes. So I think comes a bit with the first real time in this game, South Hobart under a little bit of consistent pressure. Zebras lifting here at Darcy Street.
Yeah, that substitution seems to have worked well so far for the Zebras, pushing Jaden Hay up the field. Not too many players in the world who can play left wing and centre back in the one game. Testament to the skill of the captain, Jaden Hay. It's Kieran Brown jogs to the other side to take the goal kick.
This is the setup that did the damage against South Hobart on opening night in round 1. A smaller pitch though, so perhaps that's why wasn't doing that again today. Thomas needs to track this one back. Brown comes flying off his line and then knocks it towards Huxley. Schmidt sweeps across and smashes it away. Karutza will just stretch and play it out off of the South Hobart player to get and wins the throw. So, nope, now we've reversed it.
I think it I thought it might have been a free kick, but no, he has given the deflection in the end and just heaved up the line by Robinson to the head of the lighthouse, Luke Huxley. He heads it down to Iski Van Dorn. Got Cook for company. Jinks inside and beats Farrell and Morton, but only gives it away to Connor Schmidt there. And he plays a beautiful ball over the top there from, I think, Nick Morton, but Tavechi just had it overhit in the end, perhaps.
Yeah, too much purchase on that one from the Morthog. Could have been a kick for touch. You never know. Trying to get the defence to push up. As the throw-in comes long from Robinson to the head of the Colonel. Jaden A tucking inside, but Connor Schmidt thumps that one clear, and Sheku Kamara elects to keep that one in. Quick throw out to Ackley as all the players stretch across the ground. He wants option short as Ackley does well to get round the Vecchi Marines. Now to the foot of Glenarge, calls for him the back.
Foul.
I mean, Marquez appealing for a foul, there's nothing new, but he may have had a case there. Right in front of it, did the coach. Long to the Vecchi Marines. Tries to backheel that one around Jay Nay. He's not falling for that one, and they dribble forward. Caleb Sanders keeps this one in. But Adam Gorry for company gets none of the ball there, surely. No, he did.
I think he just got a toe to it.
Pulled that one a tad early. He looked to be a little behind play there, Gorry.
Yeah, maybe just making contact with the player early as Glenarge and the Zebras take the ball quickly again from the corner. Only ends up as far as Jaden Hay, who curls in an interesting ball. Well defended by Farrell. Geordie Muller just puts it back up in the air, and Hootsley contests again before Muller heads it away wide, and Jaden Hay's got the ball. Just a poor attempted cross there with the laugh just coming in from the Morthog at the effort there from Jaden Hay. He enjoyed that one.
And the player standing a metre in front of you is laughing at you at the attempted cross. It's not your best effort there. And on South Hobart, with the fresh legs that Zebras have brought on, I'd probably want South Hobart to do the same if I'm a South Hobart supporter. In danger of running out of a bit of legs here. South Hobart.
25 to play. We know the Zebras will run the game out well as a free kick blown here, but still fully in South's control here. They would not want to be throwing this one away. Some action on the bench down there, so we won't be seeing a substitute from Ken Morton momentarily as Murray stands over this dead ball. Why not just get it to the feet of Davici Marins? He's been making things happen all game long. Connor Schmidt across to Adam Gorry. Gorry trying to chip it over the top there for Morton to run in behind, I think. And Ackley nods it into touch to Ghetto. Offered a lead, so too Morton. He combined with him nicely, then crosses in, repelled by Harutz only as far as to Ghetto, trying to slalom through, but the big checking machine was there again. And here's Glenarge trying to turn Dogger Brown, and successfully does, but Walter was in support, sliding in was Brown. Strong challenge, won the ball. Morton almost deflected into the path there of De Ghetto. Now Farrell in midfield, across the Morthog. Davici Marins went the back heel, tried the nutmeg, spills out to Morton! Drives it home, and it's 4-1 South Hobart. Nick Morton with another goal, and surely they're home now, South. A clinical finish from the Morthog.
A clinical finish indeed for the Morthog, quite fortuitous in the way it came to him. A patient build up there from South Hobart on a rifled home from the Morthog. Nice attempted back heel, and nice ball from Luke Farrell. Actually, I had the pole in my way and didn't see that lovely left foot slide ball from Luke Farrell. And Zebras, who've been on top for most of the last 10 minutes, it's probably a dagger in their hearts for the Lakoseljac Cup season. And it's kickoff back to Muller. And Robinson, they're probably going to need one pretty soon here, Zebras, if they have any chance. Robinson down to Hughesley. Hughesley out to Hay. Immediately trying to get one back. The Zebras. Hay wants to get on the right, but didn't quite manage it. Manages to win a corner. And it's going to take some real magic of the cup action to get them back on track here.
Yep, and we'll probably see them take this one short and quick again, as they do. Ball to Hay. Hay plays it in early this time, but as far as Walter, he gets it away to Davici on the edge of the box, who just clears it away to nobody in particular. Mundy Wolf combines with Ackley. He looks out wide, just a little bit much on that potentially for Robinson, but he heads it in to a marauding centre-back partnership who has really stayed up just trying to get his team back into the game, and he stays up again, the Chorizo. Combines between Muller and Iski Van Dorn, just holding onto the ball for a second here, the Zebras, before Sanders comes in and offers a bit of link up, but they need to get this one in. And it's kind of hatcheted in, really, before Oscar Thomas gets a good header back to Kieran Brown.
Yeah, done well there.
Holding position really well, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Oscar Thomas is doing exceptionally well against the star strike power that Zebras have in effect here. First time attempted clearance from Sheku Kamara. Calls from the crowd, remembering Oscar Thomas's finish from last year for a shot. Not needed, unfortunately. Alex Walter plays that one unintentionally, ends up on the right-hand side to Adam Gorry. First time back to the Morthog. Got a bit of space here, Morton, and calls that one wide to the left. Another shot off target for South Hobart. A few of them from distance.
Closer than it looks, that one, I think, from the Morthog, although he didn't quite get the curl that he wanted. You could almost see that he was just trying to get that to float and hit straight on. Don't mind the attempt, but we'll now see a substitution, and I
believe that's Anthony Saraceno.
Yeah, Saraceno for De Ghetto. So De Ghetto's game is over, and to the appreciation of the South Hobart crowd, he just jogs to the bench. A fine effort from him today.
Yeah, done well, De Ghetto. Probably one of his better performances of the season so far. As most of the players are all crowded within about a 25-metre radius in the centre circle here, expecting a high one. Falls short right to the head of Morton. He attempts it again. Doesn't fall to him. Now Muller launches that one probably closer to the bench than to a teammate. 20 minutes going and South Hobart is looking to take the sting out of this game. Gorry in no particular hurry to take this throw. Becky Marines up to Saraceno. Lovely ball out to Walter. Looks for the return. Mundy Wolf does very well to retrieve that one, but again Saraceno, the fresh legs of the pacey youngster.
Yep, and Wolves are always better in packs, and just no support there for Mundy Wolf, so allowing the ball to get away from him. They'll get a throw, but certainly in no good position for the Zebras. It's heaved long though, and everybody just lets it go. Ball ends up in the arms of Colonel Sanders. Gets it out wide. Jaden Hay, who's quite a threat since moving into that position, and he combines with Iski Van Dorn. Sklenage is onside. Kieran Brown gets there but doesn't manage to hold on to it, and Sklenage just shakily tries to score from a truly obscene angle and does nothing but turn it over.
Yeah, it was Noek Kanu angle-esque there from Jakob Sklenage to get an obscure 90s Premier League goal reference in.
Well, about 10 metres further out than that beautiful goal for the hat-trick against Chelsea. Marvellous.
Luke Farrell chips it forward in the Vinci Marines direction, but it gets gathered up by the Brazilian. Tried to go around Luke Hughes, his legs stretched out and knocked it away from him. And then he tries to loft it forwards. Hay and Gorry, the two number 3s, charging after that one. Kieran Brown up and under, which will come down on the bench.
Lovely work from the experienced youngster on the bench there, going for the attempted chest mark and going to kill a good 5 to 10 seconds off the clock. South Kelly wants to take
it's not
throw.
A foul throw.
Oh, well, that's true.
Get Morton having a laugh, as are we all. This one might come clean us up. In the commentary position here, Ashford's fearing for his equipment there, I reckon. He was hit with some fizz.
Just think he's not too happy at being called the chorizo out there.
He's probably heard us all game, yeah. Hay finds Colonel in a pocket of space, looks to get on the left, goes low and just wide from the Colonel Sanders there. He nearly creeped that one into the back post like that sneaky chip you often get in the packet of nuggets, nearly in the bottom corner.
Don't mind that call from you there, Paul Hunt, but yeah, he just tried to place that one, but with no real power behind it. He couldn't quite get his direction right, and Kieran Brown begins to take his time, and when you're this much in the lead, why bother getting a run on it in the cup? Very comfortable position, but Zebras win the ball before they manage to turn it over again, and Loic Farrell has Saraceno up ahead of him in a fair bit of space, but he doesn't make the run where Loic Farrell was expecting before he manages to play a brilliant back heel. Perhaps that is what they wanted. Gorry, a lot of space. DeVecchi in the middle, but Saraceno far post, just a flag raised for offside there. Perhaps against DeVecchi. It'll be a Zebras ball regardless.
Yeah, it will be. DeVecchi hunting the hat-trick, which would certainly put the game to bed. Sheku Kamara with the free kick. 17 minutes left in this game, and Zebras with it all to do. South Hobart have probably put in their best performance of the season. We saw them use a game at Darcy Street against Zebras as the turning point of their season in the NPL last year. They'll do the same again here today. The Veterinarians beaten out to it by Mundy Wolf. Kamara with Saraceno chasing it down. Ida Hay. Gorry battling Lilian Harutza, who appears to have stayed up as a makeshift striker. A move you often see at cup games. The centre back staying forward. The Warthog. Only to Adam Gorry. Now to Vecchi Marines. Flag stays down. Looks to cut inside on the left foot. Finds Saraceno. Hits it with the left foot, Saraceno, but rolls.
They are going to go
the
5-1 down, I think, if they keep Taruza up the top. Certainly looking very shaky at the back now, the Zebras, with a largely makeshift and undermanned back line. But when you 4-1 down in the cup, you do just have to go for it.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, 8-1, 4-1. Exact same result. You're out of the cup, so
2-1.
you might as well swing. That's a dangerous ball. Whoa! Put it quite directed home. Just wide of the mark, a fantastic effort. And that very nearly was 5-1.
I just think you almost could have done with a centre-back, man. Just there, boys.
I don't mind the big auxiliary striker. Let's see how he goes here. Oh, he loses out to Luke Farrell. And now Walton nods it on. Now they might notice his absence again because Davici Marines is in behind. The Brazilian jinking one way, then the other. That's stroking home to complete his hat-trick in style. It's been an absolute masterclass from Renato Davici Marines. And he puts the cherry on top to make it 5-1. What a goal.
He's done exceptionally well there, Renato Davici Marines, but to be honest, we've come to expect it with his play today. He has been man of the match for mine here today at South Hobart. Lovely step over just to compose himself. Could have forgiven him there for hitting it there first time, but just really wanted to set himself. Turn Jordan Mundy Wolf inside out.
Have a look at the shot.
And
how good is that shot?
We had the perfect trajectory of that one up here. It was straight as a dagger.
What a way to pick up your hat-trick. Brilliant work from Davici Marines. And you've just got to say that it is a masterpiece that he has presented for us today.
Put the highlights of this one in Mona, I think, David Walsh.
Yep, because this is modern art, the new Da Vinci.
Done well there, and Jakobs Glennar is playing a wonderful dummy ball to no one in particular. Now, Jan Harutza popping up at right wing. He just appears to be playing everywhere. Going where he likes. Gabriel Marquez doing the old 80th minute football manager trick, putting the centre back up top to no avail so far. Geordie Muller.
Just think that when they were playing Taruza up top a little bit more, that it appeared that Camera didn't quite have the length in his goal kicks to try and really get the best of that. And every time they were clearing the ball out, it was just getting headed back into a bunch of open space for South Hobart. And after 3 or 4 of those chances, in the end, Davici made him pay with his 3rd and South's 5th. So. And
he's just hanging out at the right wing at the moment. I mean, if you're going to play the auxiliary centre-back, you want him to pretty much not leave the line of the penalty spot as that one comes in from Ackley. Challenged. Here's Kieran Brown by Jakobs Glennar. Ackley takes that one down from the clouds, looks to try and beat the Warthog. And he gets a toe in.
Just imposing there from the Warthog. He just looked dead in the eyes, was very angry as it falls to Hoopsloot, and it's cleared off the line before it's saved again from Kieran Brown. Just add that one to the highlights reel, boys.
Kieran Brown with an absolutely amazing reflex save.
And they're on here, South Hobart. Davici is in once again, streaking into space, leaps over one, and that has got to be a slice. Mundy Wolf, the lone wolf there, just attempting to feast on the man that has killed the rest of his pack in this game today.
Torn his pack to absolute shreds, Davici Marines, but let's go back to that Kieran Brown save. It really should have been buried. It wasn't the best finish, but even still, that seemed a good enough finish. But Kieran Brown just got the strong hand up, kept it out. And have a look at this slice of cheese again. That is as cynical as it comes. He's just witnessed this man just cut his team to pieces all day and gone, 3's enough. Well, they might add another one here as it's volleyed by Saraceno. Harmlessly wide of Kamara's net.
That's an ambitious effort from Saraceno. I didn't mind it, trying to just curl that one into the top right corner, but very hard to get right because they're not the kind of ball that you can practice again and again. So camera just bumps it long, still not quite making the halfway line there. Iski Van Dorn tries to get it out wide and turns it away to Cook. Cook's ball to nobody in particular, and yeah, they're just playing a little bit of table tennis here, the teams, just knocking it back and forth between each other before South establish themselves. Great work, Gorry and Devechi. And great work, Mundy Wolf, getting in with another challenge, unafraid of being sent off.
Yeah.
Kieran Brown is a long way up here and doesn't quite deal with it. Gets himself in a bit of trouble before some lovely chest control there. It might have looked good, but a bit unnecessary from the goalkeeper.
I mean, he's done well to save the situation there, Kieran Brown. You really wouldn't want a clanger on your highlight reel after the one you've just produced beforehand. Quick throw from the Colonel. Sklenar's trying to get behind Dogger Brown, who thumps that one into the grandstand as we have another look at that save by Kieran Brown. Good flick header from Sanders to the back post. Here's Hughes-Luke. Good save initially. Block off the line. Thumped in from Sklenar's.
And it's chipped far coast here, but headed away again by Oscar Thomas.
Cat-like from Kieran Brown.
Certainly was an absolutely brilliant save. Just trying to work their way still back into this game, the Zebras, but not a lot doing, and it'll certainly be difficult to get 4 in the final 10 minutes here. Especially
good of Kieran Brown. He's still on the pine for most of the season so far, so staying alert is the young goalkeeper. Mundy Wolf plays that one into safety, and I mean, now that you're 5-1 down, you're probably better off moving Harutza back to centre back, I'd say.
Yeah, look, he's just decided we're just going to keep attacking, see what happens, but I think 4 gaps in 10 minutes is going to be beyond them, and I think a big credit to Ken Morton for this victory and the way he's set up. He's learnt the lessons from opening night. Zebras really exploited the space in behind Adam Gorry. He's so good for the way they attack bombing forwards, but there's plenty of space in behind, so he's tweaked the defence, he's offered the coverage, and Gorry has been fantastic down the right today, putting crosses in, and good all across the park, mind you. There's another one swung in. Davici Marin's trying to turn on a dime in the box, and luckily puts it behind for another corner. South eyeing off number 6 here. They've got their swagger back, the defending champions. They've been a little bit down so far this season, but they are well and truly back here, and they're loving every minute of it.
No, I've really liked the way that South's fullbacks have played today too, because when one of them goes forward, the other one is always back. And it's put to the far post, and is it in? Oh, nearly from Saraceno before another corner. And wasn't Dogger Brown arriving with a bit of venom and pace there?
Oh, he wants to get on the score sheet. Does the captain, rising late, but Saraceno putting that one wide, although it must have been a good save from Kamara. His corner kick has been called. So they're electing to play this one short. Zebras have every player back in the box and nearly finds Oscar Thomas. And Gorry underneath it, takes a touch, scrap in the box. Needs to be a header clear. Oscar Thomas gets some purchase. Now Iski Van Dorn lays that out to Colonel Sanders in the unfamiliar role of deep left back. Iski Van Dorn not controlling that one. Alex Walter. Out to Gorry. Colonel Sanders still patrolling left back. Geordie Muller trying to turn out of trouble. Finds Kamara, who just gets a lot of backspin off his kicks off the ground. Maybe that's why it wasn't getting as much difference to Harutza. It's a fair bit of backspin on it. As Alex Walter beats Geordie Muller. Doesn't elect to go towards the box. Harutza clears and a toe in again. Oh, Iski Van Dorn with a lovely nutmeg. He's done exceptionally well. I think it was, and Iski Van Dorn with a nutmeg this time and body checked. Adam Gorry unceremoniously to the back post. Headed over. And the Colonel Sanders. There's Nutmeg City there from Hobart Zebras, but not the finish.
Didn't quite time the header there, unfortunately for him. The Colonel Sanders just got underneath it and perhaps with the heading action a little early, so that probably was the chance they needed to take if they were going to have any opportunity to get into this game, the Zebs.
The chef, Ryan Cook, going into the book there, but you're right, he needed to score that if there were any hope of a miraculous victory, but I'd have thought with a 4-goal deficit, not enough time on the clock now, and uncharacteristic missed that from the Colonel. So, Kieran Brown in the Hughes-Luke direction, fell to Muller. Now Ben Robinson, Big Ben, just gets around Saraceno. Rutza, heavy touch, nearly let the Warthog in, and now the Lone Wolf gets himself in trouble. And Davichi Marines won't be able to attack this one now. It's falling apart rather for the Zebras. I think they know they've run their race. They're bowing out of the cup. South Hobart, meanwhile, preparing to storm onwards in this competition they've had such an affinity for. Such great results in as Glenage flicks it over the top for the overlapping of Robinson. Sliding in with dog around. And that is a cracking challenge for the big centre half.
And he says, I will break your leg before I let it be 5-2. Imposing challenge from Dogger Brown.
Actually won the ball. As Oscar Thomas, who has been another one of those who've stood out today. Jordan Muller. Glenage has battled away. He hasn't had the support top today. Or the supply, more to the point. Here's Muller. Hugh Sloot. Still Hugh Sloot. Drifting forwards, and that pretty much sums up the Zebras' day there. Robinson unable to control it. And the sting, I think, out of this one now, fellas.
Yeah, not in a huge rush to take the throw in is the chef, Ryan Cook. Not too many options open to him as well. It's a pretty enthralling contest for the 80 minutes. I don't really forgive South Hobart for wanting to take the sting out of it. They've pretty much got this one in the bag. As that one now falls to Glenage. Couldn't get it to the Colonel. Geordie Muller rising high. Misty Van Dorn. Jaden Hay plays it behind the striker. But now the Morthog. He'll look to thump this one long. Jinx inside. Iski Van Dorn with great tracking back. He's got a really good motor on him. There's the Calgary Flyer. Ackley trying to play in the Colonel. And the body check from Adam Gorey. Clear push in the back from the Colonel. Just put the body in the way nicely. Did Adam Gorey.
Of course, plenty more quarterfinal action taking place around the state today. Northern Rangers hosting Taruna up at the NTCA ground. That one kicking off in around about 15 minutes' time. And then up at Valley Road, the Devonport Strikers hosting the Olympia Warriors, who will join South Hobart and Launceston City in the final four. Those teams just a pair of wins away from the national stage. These are the FFA Cuppers. The Morthog again goes looking for the Brazilian, couldn't quite find him. Walter up against Muller. Walter couldn't get his pass around Ackley. And James Ackley dispossessed again by the Morthog. Trying to link up. You can see what he's trying to do with Davichi Marines there. He's just trying to pull towards this new wing and open up a channel to run into through the middle.
Crowd getting a very good laugh. And Ken Morton getting out of his seat then. Still willing his team on it, 5-1 up. Still wanting the decisions. Gorey plays it to the Morthog. He's trying to get around Ackley, and there's a very acrobatic, crab-like challenge at the end. Geordie Muller with the touch around Saraceno, and a free kick given to Saraceno for a, wow, hand to the face, judging by Tony Pert's expression there.
Chance to rub a little more salt into the wounds, perhaps. Davichi Marines standing over it, and everything he's touched today has turned to gold, so why not? Tick towards full time at the Theatre of Dreams. It's been a theatre of nightmares for the Zebras today, unfortunately. They've been brought well and truly undone by a South Hobart team who have got back to their best. So it'll be Morton or Ryan Cook, both capable from distance. Might favour the left foot of Cook. He drives it straight into the wall on this occasion. And now Iski Van Dorn tries to lead out the break. Sent it down the line, but Luke Farrell stopped that right in its tracks. Morton, Gorey, now by Wolf. Morton taking a tumble, but Hughesley won the ball. Jaden Hay with a raking pass that might just spring the Colonel, but again, Kieran Brown sharp off his line again. Ibra, convincing clearances. Morgan goes for the volley from 40 yards facing the wrong way. He instead opts to pass to Glenage, probably the better option, but Glenage couldn't get around Dogger Brown with the look away pass, if you don't mind.
Oh, the cheek of the centre back.
He just says, I'll have one in the highlights reel too, thank you very much. And why not? He's defended well today. Ackley out here on the left side. Can the Zebras get one final consolation goal? They might. It's Glenage. He's through. Great save, Brown. Another great save from Kieran Brown to keep it at 5-1.
Yeah, stood tall. Did the keeper. Most orthodox of saves, but it doesn't matter where it comes off as long as it's not the back of the net. Glenage brings it down.
Offside, and I just thought he might have stayed on there, but certainly not going to make a difference to the outcome at this stage.
Burkamp-esque touch though.
Yeah, it was.
Glenage bringing
Really
that one down. Just to give you some positive Arsenal memories and references for today, boys.
Nothing positive about that club.
Kieran Brown launches that one. Well, I mean, at least your biggest rival hasn't won by 50.
Oh, he's in here!
Oh, Kamara. He spotted him off his line. And Shuku Kamara just got back in time to make the save. A bit more air on that one, and that was goal bound.
Yeah, it certainly could have been 4 just there. He has been more than a thorn in their side. He has been a spear in their side today.
It's been a brilliant performance. That is for sure. Offside on that occasion was Saraceno. Luke Farrell has been wonderful in midfield, just doing the grunt work today. And perhaps feeling he's been so good in midfield, he has licence to try and chip one from 50 yards out. But he liked his work, and yeah, Kamara was off his line, just didn't quite get the purchase he was after on that occasion. Davici Marins. Luke flicks on, repelled by Cook. Muller back to Mundy Wolf. Kept in by Robinson. Straight to the Giraffe, who sends it up and under in the direction of Saraceno. Then Morton did well, shielded the ball. Muller won it back though. And again, a sloppy touch, and it's out of play. We're into stoppage time now, and I think there's a few players out there who are well and truly ready for this to be done.
I've seen that shot 3 or 4 times from Robinson. The miscontrol on the line and the look away in disgust. But yeah, certainly a bit of tiredness creeping into the game now. And certainly at 5-1, the sting is well out of it too.
It is. Mundy Wolf gets that one out of play. I think Zebras are just begging Tony Burt to not play the full allotment of stoppage time here today. I think they're wanting to get back in the sheds and prepare for next week, I think, as taking their time with the throw-in is the chef. Down the line towards Saraceno. Whiskey Van Dorn tries to play in his teammate, but no avail. And South Hobart fans in the stands here are ready for a party, I think, after this one, into the semis. And they'll be joined by Launceston City, won 4-1 yesterday against Hobart United, and the aforementioned games that are on starting soon.
He shields the ball so well, doesn't he, Davici Marines?
Yeah, new crowd favourite up here at South Hobart. They do like a charismatic, talented striker. With your favourite Albie Lazinski and Ben Hamlet in years gone by. And it looks like they've finally found the solution in Renato Davici Marins.
With great respect to both of those 2 title-winning strikers, he looks a better player, and that is certainly not a slight on Ben Hamlet and Alex Lazinski, who are 2 fantastic players, but Davici Marins has put in one of the best striking performances that I've seen in my time watching the NPL Taz.
Yeah, probably in pure talent, more up there with the likes of Andy Brennan and Braden Mann, South Hobart strikers in days gone by, as Jaden Hay now down on the line. Sinks onto the right. Lays it back to the top of the box. Couldn't quite put his foot through it. Could the Colonel. Bit of a limp chip that's been sitting in the Bay Marine for 15 minutes, that attempt on goal. Norrie. And Walter. It's the man of the moment, Davici Marins. Wants to play in the Morthog. When you can apologise and stretch your butt muscles out when you're 5-1 up, you can do whatever you like, Nick Horton. There's Robinson. Into Hughesley. Davici Marins still harassing. Chest comes Glenage. The man who dispossesses him, Luke Farrell, who's been doing that all day for South Hobart. Now Saraceno. He's got Davici Marins in space, but actually came across to cover that one well. Whiskey Van Dorn to Muller. To the Colonel. South Hobart.
And that'll be all she wrote And I think there's a team in white out there that are looking quite grateful that that is the case in the end, because it was a fairly dominant performance from South Hobart, led by the big number 18, Darcy Marines, the import from Brazil, has had an extraordinary game with the hat-trick and really put the Zebras team to bed.
Yep, he was a superstar on the day, Darcy Marines. It was the best performance South have put in this year. They get their revenge for round 1 of the NPL TAS season. And for those who might have been writing off a little bit early, they've sent a big message. They are not done with it, and they are marching on to the semi-finals of this tournament. Hobart Zebras, well, they're still top of the NPL TAS. Their attention will have to shift to the league with their cup dreams over for another year. It was very much South Hobart's day at Darcy Street, and we hope you enjoyed it. We'll leave you with the highlights of the action. It has been an absolute masterpiece from the Brazilian, and South Hobart join Launceston City in the semi-finals. 2 more will join them. We'll see how those games go. But for now, it's Slice of Cheese. It's bye for now.
This time he gives it Deku Kamara
The penalty spot, it's going to be Adam Gorry to step up and take the spot kick. He drives it home, and South Hobart take the lead just 7 minutes into the Lakoseljac Cup quarterfinal. Adam Gorry, dead-eye dick from the penalty spot.
Poorly done there from South Hobart's favourite ringer, Adam Gorry.
South Hobart will take the throw against the Brazilian, who knocks it over the top of Muller. And now Darcy Marines gets past Hay, it gets past Haruta, and gets past Kamara! What a goal! And after Darcy Marines, South Hobart double their advantage with a bit of Brazilian magic.
Absolute.
He just swept past 1, swept past 2, swept past...
Accustomed to seeing him across now to Jordan Muller, a sense of urgency, but he's coughed it up here to the Darcy Marines again. The Brazilian slides it through for Degetto. It's Isaac Degetto on the angle, cuts it back. Darcy Marines, 3-0. South Hobart away with it at Darcy Street, and the Brazilian has another one.
They can't stop him. What a brilliant 1-2. Slotted into the centre-back position, which is allowing Jaden Hay to try and get back up forward to try and work it in. And Sanders is in. Will he finish? Sanders, 3-1, and the game lives.
The Colonel giving Zebras some life here, reviving their potential. It's just a long flick on ball, and on the second ball, the Colonel rifles that one in the bottom corner again.
Farrell in midfield, across the Morthog. Darcy Marines went the back heel, tried the nutmeg, spills out to Morton! Drives it home, and it's 4-1 South Hobart. Nick Morton with another goal, and surely they're home now, South. A clinical finish from the Morthog.
A clinical finish indeed for the Morthog, quite fortuitous in the way.
He goes here. Oh, he loses out the leg Farrell. And now Walton nods it on. Now they might notice his absence again because Darcy Marines is in behind. The Brazilian chinking one way, then the other. That's smoking home to complete his hat-trick in style. It's been an absolute masterclass from Renato Darcy Marines. And he puts the cherry on top to make it 5-1. What a goal.
He's done it.